thank you for coming this morning to hear what we've got to say. I'm going to not speak too fast because I get too brief doing that sometimes with my accent. But I'm also going to be Australian because we have 3 speakers this morning. If I skip through something, my apologies, you'll find it all in the edition of the 100 Region Economic Indicators you'll be on the way out the door. Before we get into the regional economy, of course, this is part of the Innovation Festival. We're very fortunate to be part of the Innovation Festival. And I have to say, I'm not an expert on innovation, but I just thought I'd discuss a couple of things related to innovation. And then we'll sort of speak to you a bit later some of the detailed expertise in that area. But from an innovation perspective, I want to raise a couple of things. We do know a bit about economic change, regional economic change, international economic change, over the long term. The point I wanted to raise in the context of innovation was, if you look at the long-term history of market economies generally, the key thing we have to remember is it's a history of acceleration, basically. The rate of change, of economic change, continues to progress time and time again. You can see various different benchmarks of this in respect to, over a 100-year period, of course, it used to take, months to get a message to the other side of the world, now it takes seconds. You see it in different ways in respect to brands that used to be mainstream, such as Levi Strauss or record shops that used to be on the high street, have now been usurped. They've just been completely off the landscape. And you think of products. You think of products that used to be built to last for 10 years, white goods that used to be built, to last for 10, 20 years, and now effectively built for obsolescence to go out. Basically, the whole story is this is horticulture really through the economy. But it's a progression of continual rate of change. The expectations of capital now and the expectations of return are that things are continually evolving faster and faster. Of course, that relates to the fact that we need a flexible economy, so we can adapt and continually change to this. It also means if you're not changing, the potential is that you're probably going backwards. In your position, be it a strong market position or a strong product position or a strong service position, you're potentially going to be retreating in your output performance. You may have a strong position right now, but eventually over time that's going to be eroded. So if you're not innovating, and you don't have that inculcated into your mentality going forward, the potential is that your output performance will suffer over time. And more to the point on the other side of the equation, if you are innovating, you are progressing, you will be getting ahead of the game and continue changing to the pace of economic change. A couple of charts. The Foundation started to do a bit more research on this area. We've been running part of our Omnibus Business series for a while on questions related to innovation. And I wanted to throw a couple of them in front of you. There's more of them in the economic indicators. We've got a small section there. But there's also a paper on our website that's been written by a colleague of mine in the Foundation on innovation, where all the results will be summarised for you if you want to go there. But a couple of key ones I thought were worth putting up this morning. Well, for those, innovation, of course, is a range of different things to different firms. It's very difficult to try and pinpoint it down to one particular thing. So one of the measures that we tried to take that was broad enough to capture most companies was whether people have introduced a new product or service over the last 12 months. And what we found is the measures of the companies that did that. But also, interestingly, this is the type of product that people reported that they were introducing to the market, whether they're new to their firm only, whether they're new to their industry, new to Australia or new to the world. And what this demonstrates to me is that innovation is less about a grand eureka moment. It's not about people in white lab coats with large foreheads sitting in laboratories coming up with grand ideas. A lot of it is about diffusion and continual innovation and practice on the factory floor, in the office, to customers, and that continual innovation across and diffusion of information and finding a better way of going about it. Now, of course, there are some, and very importantly, that try to actually patent this. When you look at new to the world, for example, it's only about 10% of the people that introduce a new product, and you think of those that we also asked how many of them are looking to patent that. It's only about 5% who are looking to patent it. So there are people, very importantly, that are looking to leverage the value of the IP, and there's potentially a lot of productivity to that. But innovation is broader than that, and it's keep in mind that it potentially applies across the economic community. One of the other things that I thought was worth putting in front of you briefly was this is the motivations of people in terms of why they, this is all from the Hunter, of course, over this series, of why they introduce a new product or service. The top 3 there, improving profitability, expanding the client base, and satisfying demand from existing clients. And that's all sort of rational enough. When you go down to, there are they're major ones. Again, there are other ones in the middle that are still important for a large proportion of those who are active. Improving efficiency, increasing capacity and lowering costs. Now, obviously, lowering costs is potentially the same thing as increasing profitability. But the positive thing, I think, for the region out of this is that it's all orientated towards the more progressive side of things. It's about increasing profitability. It's not about lowering costs or meeting regulations. I'm quite pleased that they're relatively low. Whilst it's important that they're in there, it suggests to me that people are more looking to expand. They're looking for new clients, they're looking for new products, and they're looking to advance profitability rather than a mature industry approach where we're having to, okay, we can't grow our revenue, we've got our optimal market share, we have to try and minimise costs, and that's the only way that we can respond, or regulation is drawing us to this. So I think from a regional perspective, that's a really positive outcome, and it gives us something to build on. But just stepping briefly back to that context of the continual rate of change, it's only going to get faster over time. It suggests that we really need to embed a culture of innovation, a culture of expectation of change into management, into the workforce, into the institutions of the regional economy. And the more we are able to do that, the more resilient the economy will be over time to the economic fluctuations that can go. Never will elaborate more on innovation later, but right now, because we're short of time, I'll skip straight into the regional economy.